Okay, good afternoon, everybody. It looks like the number of folks coming in is starting to slow down a little bit. Thank you so much for joining us. We're happy to see you today. We appreciate you taking the time. We have a number of items on the agenda today to share with you, and we'll make our way through those. The presentation today is being recorded and will be available on the HRDI coronavirus website, so please feel free to refer back to it as needed. The purpose of these forums is to provide updates on COVID in Orange County, updates on campus reentry activities, testing, vaccines, and how we aim to navigate our ongoing pandemic experience. Today, as we have in the past meetings, we'll share the latest updates on reentry and answer questions as best we can at the end. Please feel free to put those questions into the Q&A. I have a number of colleagues here with me today, and they'll answer some of those colleagues via some of those questions via typing, and other of those we'll cover here or we'll come back around to at the end. We are holding these forums each month. Our next one is scheduled for July 8th at 4 p.m. And links to these forums can be found at the HRDI coronavirus website, and we'll pop that into the chat as well. So with that, you see our agenda there, and we'll go ahead and dive in. As you all know, we had planned this June forum for last week, and we did go ahead and take the opportunity to move that, mostly because last Thursday, Cal OSHA met and updated their emergency temporary standards to keep physical distancing in place until July 31. In light of this, the campus did decide, and we communicated that last week, that we would move our reentry date for most employees to rejoin us on campus on August 1st. Until August 1st, we'll continue to utilize our phased approach to campus reentry. This means some employees will return to campus prior to August 1 to support the fall reentry, and managers will communicate with employees if they are returning prior to August 1. If you're coming to campus now, you will need to have your parking permit, and encourage you to visit the parking website and take care of that. And for the foreseeable future, we will continue to wear face masks while indoors. In that announcement, you also saw that we've extended our temporary telecommuting policy to remain in effect through July 31st. And we'll also continue to utilize our single-day access request system through July 31st. If you do come to campus, you do need to fill out that single-day access request form. We will have more specific updates at our July forum of what it'll look like on campus and specifics about the reentry process. But really wanted just to share that we have made that pivot based on the OSHA guidance. You will notice as well that the OSHA guidance ends on July 31. I believe that's a Saturday. So we've said that our campus reentry will be August 1. That means for most of you, we'll see on August 2nd, which is the Monday. And well before then, we'll give you lots of information about what to expect and all that. Please know that we will give you that as soon as we can. We are wading through with OSHA only voting on those new temporary standards last week. We do need to still put some time and energy into figuring out how that'll affect us and what our guidance will be. So please do know those things. Terry, you want to skip to the next slide for us? Let's see. As you all recall, and I think you've heard me say this a few times, we have two plans that are going on in parallel, right? We have the Cal State Fullerton plan, and we have a plan that's been announced by the Office of the Chancellor. The Cal State Fullerton plan calls for us to test every one of our employees, faculty, staff, and students, all of our community members every week. And that testing will start prior to our August 1 reentry. For folks that would like to opt out of testing by voluntarily submitting their vaccine record for verification, folks are able to do that. And we are collecting those now. In fact, we have already collected a number of those from employees. But we do intend to require weekly testing of all of our faculty, staff, and students, except for those who have been vaccinated and have provided their vaccine record voluntarily. At the end of the forum today, Mary Becerra is actually going to give a live demonstration on how to upload your vaccine record. So if you have not yet given us your vaccine record, but you want to, Mary will give that live demonstration. We are asking for all those vaccine records to please come to us by the end of this month. And you'll see some additional communication that'll come out around that. We are highly encouraging all members of our community to upload their vaccine record if they choose to, so that we can get a good handle on how many folks will need to be tested each week. That's the Cal State Fullerton plan. At the same time, the Chancellor's office did announce a plan to require the vaccine of all members of our community. That plan doesn't come into effect until one of the vaccines, likely the Pfizer vaccine, receives full authorization. At this point, the Pfizer vaccine is still on an emergency use authorization, as are the other COVID vaccines. And so what we're doing as a campus is actively preparing to be able to shift to the Chancellor's plan when that comes into effect. We don't know when that will be in effect. We have not yet received the final guidance from the Chancellor's office on that plan or any of the various pieces that go along with that. So again, two plans, right? Chancellor's office plan made a big splash in the media. That's great. We are very much pursuing our campus plan, which will include testing for all members of our community and an opportunity for folks to opt out of testing if they voluntarily provide their vaccine record. And at the time that the Chancellor's office plan comes into effect, we will come into compliance with that plan. In the meantime, we'll be full speed ahead on Cal State Fullerton's plan. So let's pause there for a minute and see if there are some questions that the question facilitators want to put forward about those pieces, and then we'll move on to some of the other pieces.
So one question is about the protocol to request permission to return to campus prior to August 1 on a regular basis. So how can that be done without a single day access pass?
No problem. What we want is for folks to work with your manager, talk with your manager about your need to come to campus. You agree with your manager that you need to come to campus and do some things, fill out the single day access pass on the Titans Return website, and go ahead and make that visit to campus, no problem. For folks that are going to be scheduled prior to August 1 to be on campus on a regular basis, we'll go over that with folks in those departments about what needs to happen in terms of access passes, just so that we can keep a record of who's on campus when. So check with your manager on that and see what you can do.
David?
Yep.
The question is coming from one of our department chairs. Is there an answer that is different if it's someone who wants to come back on a recurring basis? It might be faculty chair.
Yeah. Again, work with your manager. Put that plan into place. There are processes for that for folks that need to support our reentry. We know there are a number of folks that need to be back on campus more often for reentry. I think a little bit later in the forum, we also have some additional information for faculty around research needs and access to offices, that kind of stuff that we'll cover.
Thanks.
What other questions? Anything else in there?
You indicated that we would still be wearing masks for the near future. A question came in: if the CDC lifts up on not wearing masks, do we still have to wear masks?
You know, as we have throughout the pandemic, right, we are paying attention to federal, state, local, system-wide, all the levels of guidance. The big thing that came through, look, even that it's interesting, right? The governor's saying we're fully open. OSHA's saying that we still have 6-foot social distancing. So you see those things happening, and we do need to pay attention to a variety of those. I think I heard earlier today that California Department of Public Health was coming out with some additional guidance as well. We will continue to respond to those things. It has been throughout the pandemic that all those things are hardly ever all in sync. So the CDC may offer something, California Department of Public Health or OSHA may have something different. Our local Orange County authorities have something different. We're paying attention to all of those things. And as those regulations change in a way where we can change our guidance on campus, we will do so. But what we expect to be the case for us as we go into August, we believe that we will still be wearing masks. And we will adjust to that as those things come.
David, if I might add, that's also the position that Cal OSHA has taken. And so that's why we're requiring masks, even though the CDC offered different guidance.
For sure. Anything else immediately? Question facilitators? Okay. Shall we skip down then to talking about travel? I think this is you, John.
It is. Thanks, David. Good afternoon, everybody. So even in light of our pivot for our reentry date, as David mentioned, we're still using kind of a phased approach as far as supporting folks that need to be on campus. We're also supporting other functions like travel. And I wanted to remind everyone on the call that as of June 1st, the CSU has lifted its travel restrictions. After June 1st, any travel deemed to be essential by a vice president may proceed. I do want to remind everyone that prior to travel, you do need to have the approval of your respective vice president. At the staff forum last month, there was a question about blanket travel, and I wanted to clarify my response. Blanket travel may proceed. However, on that blanket travel authorization, it needs to state the essential purpose. You know, I'm going to be doing fundraising or I'm going to be doing recruiting, and then that blanket travel will be limited to only the category of travel in that essential purpose. And if you have any additional questions about travel, please reach out to DL Travel and they'll respond to your questions. Next slide. So as David mentioned, we are working on research, and we know how important the summer is to faculty to conduct research. And I want you to know that we're very close to having a plan in place to allow faculty to either resume research or to expand the research that they're already doing. June 15th is a key date. That's when the Cal-OSHA standards become effective. And so look for a communication from the Office of Research and Sponsored Projects to come shortly that will provide faculty information on how to either request to start research or to expand the research that they're already doing. We're just working on the final details. And so look for that communication from the Office of Research and Sponsored Programs. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Amir.
Thank you, John. Hello, everyone. It's great seeing you guys all. I just wanted to talk about the laptops and also the plan to return to the campus. As most of you know, when we did the pandemic, we asked everyone to take whatever they needed to back to their home so they can work more efficiently with, for example, a monitor, keyboard, mice, and what we're gonna ask everyone when you come back to the campus, we bring all of those electronics back. So for example, if you have a docking station that we set up for you, we wanna make sure those things have monitors back into it. So if there's any issue comes up, work with your managers and let us know, but that is the plan right now because everybody's coming back on August 2nd or August 1st. So we wanna make sure your office is back to normal. There was a question here about laptop. So as you know, we are going, first let's talk about new employees, that new employees and new faculty will get the laptop, docking station and monitors. That is ready to go. We're gonna set that up for you guys. The laptop specs are, we have a Dell 7420. Some people asked that on the last forums. It's an i5, 16 gigabyte and half a terabyte storage and a MacBook Pro. With an M1 processor, 16 gigabyte of RAM, and 512 gigabyte. And both of them are mid to mid-end laptops that really supports 99% of what all the individual needs for their computing needs. What we're going to do is that starting this week, we are giving out all the laptops out. So we will send out probably massive email building by building very quickly to all of you. So in June, you will be getting an email for us, starting with the library the next couple of days. And all we need to know if you are gonna come in the morning to pick it up or come in the afternoon. It's very simple form to pick up. And you're coming to the device request. Device request has now moved from the first floor of the library to the basement of the library when you come through the loading dock, room 48A. So you can come and pick it up. What we need that form also would indicate to us to get it ready for you. So you give us 24 hours, you submit your form, so the email come to you, you submit the little form. It's a very simple form, that's what I want. So we can prep it. We prep the laptop for you, get it ready for you. You come in the next day and it's ready for you to pick up. So you can pick up your laptops and take it home and start using it immediately. What we will do after that, we will work with you to do several things. We will work on moving your files into Dropbox. So we will call you and make appointment to make sure we can move your files from your desktop. And for existing laptops, we want to move your files into Dropbox. And once we do that, we're also going to work with you to go pick up your desktop and replace it with the docking station. This is when we're looking at the docking station, we're trying to get it all installed as much as we can in the month of July. So when you come back in August, you will have your docking station ready to go with your laptop plugged into it. If it's not ready by that time for some complications, you can continue using your desktops in month of August while we make an appointment to replace your docking stations with you. You can still keep your laptop along there. You can bring your laptop to work and work it along your desktop, keep it at home until your docking station is ready. Any questions? Anybody, any facilitators, any question that comes up? And we're hoping to get as much as we can done by month of June and July. Yes.
Amir, there's a question. Will ASC staff also get new IT equipment?
ASC staff will not get a new IT equipment. I have worked with Chuck, and I think they're going to be looking at this a little differently. So because they are a little bit different than us, the way they do things. So at this point, I would refer you to talk to Chuck Kissel and Mike for more information.
And one more question.
Yeah.
Can the desktop computers be kept in their offices?
No, the goal is to remove the desktop because it will not have keyboard and mice and information, and we don't want to just sitting in there on the side. So what we're doing is we want to make sure all your data is all being transferred into Dropbox and brought into your laptop, so accessible from your laptop. And once we do that and you're comfortable with it, we'll make sure that the desktop is moved and back to us. And we probably keep it for a few weeks, make sure everything works out with you before we go to the next step of cleaning the hard drives and those sort that goes along with it.
And
Will staff who are picking up computers need a single day pass?
In the past, we did not do that. David, you can answer that. I think in the past, they can come and pick up their device request without creating a single day pass. Is that correct, David? And Jeff? I just want to make sure.
I think that's what we've been doing. Yeah.
Yes. They don't need to do that. They just come in. The good thing is right by the loading dock now. So either you can, if it's not busy, there's a 15 minutes, you can park and go get it, or you can park in the main lot and walk into the device request to pick it up.
A few questions related to equipment. If people have specialty equipment like double monitors or specialized keyboards, may they still keep those?
Absolutely. What we'll do is people with double monitors continue using their double monitors. So what we'll do is we install their double monitor in the docking station. So the docking station will have a double monitors in it. And if you have a special keyboard, we're going to keep the same keyboard. So you can do that. Absolutely. You want to make sure that your ability to use the technology is better than what you have on your desktop. If you look at the reason I put the configuration here, you can see the configuration is better than your desktops and better than your laptops. This is also the Dell Latitude 7420. It's a touch screen. You can actually turn it around and it becomes like a Surface station.
Okay. Amir, there's a number of other things in the chat that might be good for you to respond to via typing so that everybody can see those. So we'll let you take a look at some of those, and we'll circle back in a couple of minutes when we have some additional time for other questions. In the meantime, want to also share with you that we do have the Employee Assistance Program available to all of you. HRDI is pleased to offer this. We now have one-on-one telephone and virtual support sessions with an EAP counselor to assist with workplace reentry and transitioning to campus. If having some fear and anxiety is understandable, we all do. This has been a time filled with anxiety and fear. We invite you to take a mental health break and check in on yourself with the help of our EAP professionals, whose goal is to help you reacclimate to the workplace successfully. Employees can share their concerns and ask questions. As of now, we're planning for sessions to be available every Monday from 10 to 12 and every Thursday from 3 to 5. Faculty and staff can reach an EAP counselor. To sign up for a session, you can visit our HRDI website, and Melissa's going to drop a link there into the chat so that you can pick up on that as well. But we know that this is a time of high anxiety. We are sensitive to that, and we want you to know that we are here to support you. And one of the great resources that we have available to us is our Employee Assistance Program. So we encourage everybody to make use of that. So let's circle back for a moment on the questions. We're going to work through the rest of the questions and answers. And then for those of you who have not yet had a chance to upload your vaccine record but want to, Mary Becerra is going to give us a live demonstration, screen share demonstration on how to do that. So let's see. I know Amir's working through answering some of those questions, typing answers to some of those questions. Thank you, Amir. Just seeing what other things we have in there. Looks like most of the other questions right now are IT related. Amir, are you good answering some of those through typing?
Yeah, I will type all of them in right now. So I'm doing it at one at a time. We already answered some of them already on the chat, like, keeping it desktop computers is, if you have a large monitor, they can keep it. So your current monitors can be kept. If you have ergonomic keyboards, you can keep it. Anything that you had before, we want to make sure that you have everything equivalent or better what you had before. So you will not lose any functionality or any specialty that goes along with your equipment. So the goal is to make you a better environment, not a reduced environment. So we will do everything we can that all of you get a better environment. Yeah, my guarantee. Thank
you. You heard it here, folks, and these sessions are being recorded, so we'll be able to revisit that, Amir. So we appreciate it.
I stand by it.
No doubt. Your team has been terrific throughout, Amir, and we really appreciate it. You were certainly extremely responsive and allowed us to do that pivot that was so important, for sure.
One more thing, David. If you have a current laptop and you're getting a new laptop, you don't need to turn the old laptop in immediately. So keep the old laptop because we want to make sure you're functional. Take the new laptop home, use it, keep the other one as a backup. When you come back in August 1st, you can bring the old laptop and turn it in. So you don't have to rush back and give us the old laptop. Just want to let everybody know.
Thank you. Alicia, I'm gonna take that piece that you just put in and put it in the chat for all attendees. Thank you for that. It looks like Melissa already has it in there. So the EAP information is there with a link as well. So thank you for that.
We have one question that's not technology. For how long is the events request form expected to be in use?
I was typing in the answer, so I'll say it. So we're reviewing now how we're going to utilize that form after July 31st. That has been a very effective tool, not only for managing things related to COVID, but also for managing different spaces on campus, making sure there are no events conflicts. So we want to, in the future, capitalize on all of the good things related to that. But there might be some changes because as we re-enter campus, we don't need all of that information. So we're reviewing that right now.
Great. It looks like the last few things, Amir, you might be able to just type a few more answers to folks. What I think we do at this point is to shift over to Mary for a live demonstration on how to upload your vaccine record. If you have already chosen to do so, voluntarily uploaded your vaccine record, we appreciate that. Thank you very much. I believe to date, about 40% of our employees have already chosen to do so, so that's great. We're hoping to get a few more of those in from those that want to. And Mary's going to give that live demonstration now. If you have already uploaded your vaccine record and you don't have any other questions, we will thank you for joining us today and let you know that our next forum will be on July 8th, and we'll look forward to seeing you then. And for everybody else, we will continue to monitor the questions and type some answers for folks. And we'll shift over to Mary to give us that live demonstration. Mary, thank you.
Thank you, David. And now I'm going to go ahead and share my screen for the live demonstration. So hopefully you brought your popcorn because this will be very exciting. So here is the first place that you're going to want to go to access where you upload your record is the Student Wellness landing page. So this is the official webpage for Student Wellness. And you'll scroll down and you'll see at the very bottom of that page, Titan Health Online Portal. So you'll go ahead and click the Titan Health Online Portal. You will need to complete your Duo access. And then it will ask you for your date of birth. And so you'll type in your date of birth. and hit proceed. And then what you're looking for is over here on the left toolbar, you're looking at the medical clearances. So a vaccine record, another word for that is a medical clearance. And so as you can see, I have not uploaded mine yet. And so it says it's not been satisfied. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the medical clearances section. And for the COVID-19 vaccine, there are several items that are required in addition to the actual vaccine record. And I'll walk through those. And then there are a slew of things that are not required for the medical clearance. So anything that says additional items not required for clearance, you do not need to complete any of those. It's this section right here that you need to pay attention to. And there are actually 3 documents that you need to acknowledge in addition to uploading your record. One of them is our health services informed consent, and I've actually already completed that. So that would have been in my items required for clearance if I had not completed that form. It's just giving some consent to that you've been aware of the policies and the procedures that are outlined in the upload process. So since I've already completed that, I'm now going to go into consent to share COVID-19 vaccination compliance. This document is allowing health services to share information for people who have met the compliance. So whether that's uploading a vaccine record or down the road, if necessary, uploading a medical or religious exemption for the COVID-19 vaccine, all of those would then meet this compliance piece. So you'll want to review this so that you know who could possibly be receiving information about complying, not the vaccination status. So it's important that you know that by releasing information, we're not sharing your vaccine status, we're sharing whether or not you have either opted out for testing or you are, or you've met some degree of a mandate should a COVID vaccine become mandated in the future. So I'm going to click that I acknowledge that, and I'm going to submit final. And it's going to process that. Now I'm going to go ahead, it takes me right back to this. And as you can see, it now says that I have satisfied the COVID-19 vaccination compliance. I also, in another session, already had read the privacy practices notice. So you can see here that it was satisfied. And it'll tell you which date if you click on it when you read that. And then you can just click OK and it'll take you right back to this screen. So the only other thing that I have left to do is to actually put in my COVID-19 vaccine record. And so I'm going to click update, and this is where I can actually upload my record, and it will require you to upload something. So I'm going to click upload, and I have saved my vaccine record on my desktop, and I'm going to go ahead and click that. And it's going to show you what the record is. So this is my vaccine record with the dates of my injections and my lot number and vaccine type. I'm going to say that looks good. And then I'm going to actually enter the dates of my vaccine. Whoops. So that they're right here on the upload. And I received Moderna. And I'm gonna click that again, and then I'm gonna double check once again. I have my upload. If you accidentally select the wrong attachment, you can remove it, or you can make an edit or a comment on there. But the dates are in here. My vaccine type is in there, and I'm gonna go ahead and click done. And once it's done, now you can see here that it's awaiting review. So I uploaded my document. Now the team of our third-party vendor, since I'm an employee, is going to review my document. And once they're done reviewing, this will change to satisfied. Okay, so if I click here in waiting review, it says here that it's still awaiting the review. So again, once it's reviewed, it becomes satisfied, and then I won't have to update this anymore. This will change from not compliant to compliant. So if you log out and you want to log back in to check your clearances, you'll just want to click your medical clearance button again. You'll have to log back into the portal, click the medical clearances, and then this right here under the details will tell you the status of your vaccine record. So as of right now, almost all of our vaccines that have been uploaded have been reviewed. The third-party vendor sent us some questions that they had on some of the vaccine records, not the actual vaccine record, but some situations that they're running into with vaccine records that we are currently responding to. So we expect them to be able to review all records within 24 hours by next week. So if it says that it's a waiting review and you uploaded it some time ago, give us until next week that we can answer those questions from the third-party vendor, and we should be good to go. So the last thing that I'm going to want to do, though, is I'm going to want to go ahead and log out of my electronic health portal, and that will complete the vaccine upload process. So as you can see, it's very easy. You have to complete 3 acknowledgements. Then you do your vaccine upload with the information, and you click submit and you log out. And if you have any questions, I'm putting in the chat the email address that you email if you are running into issues. If for whatever reason it's saying that you don't have access to upload, this is the email that you'll want to go ahead and use. It's shcctech@fullerton.edu, and one of our IT staff members will get back to you with some solutions. So with that, I will turn it back over.
And I think, Mary, that'll take care of a question from Susan Setsugu about upload that she'd done some time ago. Susan, please send an email to that email address that Mary just put in the chat. That'll take care of that.
Yep.
Mary, do they need to upload the front and back of the vaccination card?
Just the front. The vital information that they're looking at is your name, your date of birth, to make sure that matches the record that we have on file, as well as the vaccine type, date, and lot numbers.
Thank you. Also a question there, we will have ADA access for our testing program on campus, and we will have enough capacity so there will not be waiting in lines for testing. So we believe we'll be able to accommodate everybody that needs to have their testing done on campus. It looks to me like we have come to the end of the questions and answers. So thank you very much, everybody, for your time today. Let's see if there are some other questions just coming in real quick. But otherwise, you are all welcome to stick around and ask a couple more questions. That's the end of our content today. This recording will be uploaded. Usually takes us, I think, 24 to 48 hours, Tara, something like that, to get this all done and uploaded. So we'll get that up there so that you can review this. Again, our next session will be on July 8th, and we look forward to seeing all of you then. In the meantime, we hope that you all stay safe and well, and we look forward to seeing you back on campus for most of us on August 2nd as we prepare for an excellent new year and move into what I believe is our post-pandemic reality. So thanks everybody for joining us today. Really appreciate it. We had over 600 folks with us today, so that's a terrific showing. I know everybody's excited to get back to campus, and we all are as well. So we'll look forward to seeing you very soon, and much more information to come between now and then. Thanks, everybody. Thanks to our panelists. Thanks for everybody for putting this together. We'll see you all soon.
Thank you.
See everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Be safe.
Safe.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.